single person in the disunited kingdom today is much more interested in analysing Brooklyn Beckham's take on the most famous family in the country outside the actual royals.
Brooklyn Beckham and his wife really remind me of Harry and Meghan, the way they're saying that our family didn't understand us, they tried to ruin everything for us. But then why not admit, okay, that your last name in your family is why you're here. Your family is the reason we know you exist.
Bree knows this story. It's legendary at this point. It's not just gossip anymore, it's modern folklore. Picture this, the golden eldest son, born with a last name that unlocks every door on earth. He grows up in a spotless, camera-ready bubble, every smile rehearsed, every outfit matched to perfection, every move crafted to look flawless. It's a life so polished, it practically squeaks, until the spark hits and everything starts to smoke. We've seen this movie before with the Windsors. The spare finally had enough of being a side character in his own story, and boom, the royal exit shook the world. The interviews, the tell-all book deals, the chaos that followed left everyone's jaws on the floor. We all thought that was a once-in-a-lifetime meltdown, but wow, were we wrong. Because if you've been anywhere near the internet in January 2026, you know history didn't just repeat, it dropped a remix. But this time, the crown isn't royal, it's commercial, and the famous last name setting the stage isn't Windsor, it's Beckham. What Brooklyn Beckham just did this month? Wow, it's like a bomb went off in the middle of brand Beckham. The post, the backlash, the full-blown fallout, it wasn't just a slip-up, it was a straight-up declaration of war on the family empire. It's shocking, no doubt, but if you've really been watching closely, it's not surprising at all. This was always coming, the final spark in a pressure cooker that's been hissing for years. Now, the internet's totally losing it. Everyone's asking wild questions. Is this Prince Harry 2.0? Is Brooklyn the new Harry? Is Victoria the new Charles? The comparisons are flying fast, and no one can look away. But that take is way too easy. It's the flashy headline, not the real story. To actually understand why all this is exploding right now, you've got to look deeper, behind the curtain, at the machinery that built these men. Because this isn't just about two rich guys throwing fits online. It's about what shaped them, what molded them, and what finally cracked them open. See, these aren't random meltdowns. These are the products of two massive experiments, one engineered by a monarchy, the other by marketing. Different worlds, same kind of cage. And guess what? Both systems crush people in eerily similar ways.
Brooklyn Beckham, most spoiled nepo baby in the world, talentless little shill who couldn't even take a photo that wasn't blurred in his book of photography. Like, this was the elephant. So hard to photograph, but incredible to see.
Social media has ruined culture. We didn't air our public underwear, is what this feels like. And I think it makes the public uncomfortable because now the onus is on us to take a side, and we don't even know what's going on.
Today, we're not just gossiping about the latest chaos, we're dissecting the system that made it possible. Let's keep it real for a second. This goes way deeper than drama. Feeling sympathy for the ultra-rich? Yeah, that's a tough sell. It's not easy to pity someone who grew up surrounded by mansions when most people are just trying to cover rent. But hold up, forget the money for a second, and look at the psychology behind it all. Imagine being born into a role you never asked for, a lifelong job with no interview, no choice, no escape. Prince Harry came into an institution older than democracy itself, his entire path scripted before he could even walk. School, military, public duties, waving from balconies, every step designed for the cameras. The rule book was simple: marry well, smile on command, and whatever you do, don't embarrass Granny. His life wasn't his own. It was built to protect the monarchy, not nurture the man. He was an emblem before he was ever treated like a person. Now, flip that same lens toward Brooklyn. No palace walls, no royal guards, but something maybe even more invasive, a brand empire with his name stitched right into it. The brand, that's what it really was, because David and Victoria Beckham didn't just build a family, they built a full-blown global empire. Every handshake, every outfit, every smile, it was all strategy. And right in the middle of it all stood Brooklyn, the golden mascot of brand Beckham. He didn't grow up in royal nurseries, he grew up on magazine covers and billboards. Every birthday was a photo op, every new interest instantly turned into branded content. While Prince Harry had to memorize royal protocol, Brooklyn had to master the art of perfect aesthetics. Two totally different castles, but the same cold hallways of pressure. Both men were raised in worlds where privacy was practically forbidden and image was the only currency that mattered. When your last name is the business, there's no such thing as an off day. You can't be messy, you can't be real, and you definitely can't be yourself if yourself doesn't fit the brand strategy. Harry was cast as the cheeky rebel, the wild child, the soldier prince. That was his lifelong role. Brooklyn, he got the cool older brother script, the artsy, sensitive one, the laid-back dreamer. Both had parts to play, and neither got to write their own lines. But let's be real, roles like that are exhausting, especially when the script was written by your parents and directed by the public eye. You can fake it for a while, sure, but after 20 years of playing a character, it's easy to lose track of who you really are underneath the costume. And that's the real tragedy here. This isn't some story about spoiled, ungrateful sons. It's about two men waking up to realize their entire identities were carefully built PR strategies designed to protect someone else's legacy. That's the gut punch. Now, here's where it gets messy. Privilege opens doors, sure. You get the meetings, the mentors, the funding, the spotlight, but what privilege can't give you is a sense of self. In fact, it often steals it. Both Harry and Brooklyn had every advantage money could buy, yet somehow they were still searching for who they actually were.
She comes from a very wealthy family, so I don't think she cares about her husband's money, her in-laws' fame, and this may be part of the problem.
Harry had Sandhurst, royal tutors, and every ounce of elite training the monarchy could offer. Brooklyn had Parsons School of Design, mentorships with top-tier photographers, and cooking shows that looked more like luxury brand campaigns than creative projects. But check out how their paths split. Harry actually found something real in the army. For nearly a decade, Captain Wales wasn't just a title, it was a purpose. The military gave him structure, discipline, and finally, a sense of identity that had nothing to do with crowns or photo ops.
They've got so much money that they have no sense of purpose. Brooklyn and Harry are similar in that they have absolutely no sense of purpose, and so therefore they're sort of drifting around trying to think that they're important. I mean, when Harry was good and looked after the veterans, then great. Yes. But then again, with Brooklyn Beckham, what do you do when your parents are so successful and so wealthy?
But then the palace stepped in, citing security concerns, and yanked him out. Sure, maybe they had their reasons, but the narrative hit was devastating. The message was clear. You can't be a soldier. You have to be a prince. The one thing he earned for himself, the one thing that felt truly his, got stripped away because it didn't fit the royal machine's agenda. And Brooklyn? His journey has the same energy, just wrapped in glossier filters and, honestly, way more awkward headlines.
David, the dad, who has been revealed for rejecting his own son, refused to pull out of a big money appearance at the World Economic Forum in Davos today, because if there's one thing that matters to David and Victoria Beckham, much more than their family, it's the greenback.
And I'm not saying that to be cruel. I'm saying it because this is exactly how yes-man culture kills real potential. Brooklyn tried football, sure, but it didn't stick. Then he switched gears to photography, got himself a book deal with Penguin Random House at an age when most photographers are still figuring out how to adjust their ISO settings. But when that book dropped, the critics ripped it apart. The photos were mocked, the reviews were brutal, and social media had a field day. Remember that meme about the elephant photo? Yeah, elephants are so hard to photograph became a punchline that haunted him for months. Then came Cooking with Brooklyn, a full-blown production, 60-person crew, a budget of around $100,000 per episode just to watch him make a bagel sandwich. It looked fancy, but everyone saw through it. Here's the real-world truth. When regular people mess up, they fail, they learn, they grow. But in the Beckham universe, just like the royal one, failure doesn't exist. You don't fall, you just get repositioned. In their world, failure isn't a lesson, it's an inconvenience you can fix with a contract. Football doesn't work out? Buy a camera. Photography flops? Buy a kitchen set and launch a cooking show. When you never hit the ground, you never actually learn how to stand back up. Both Harry and Brooklyn were shielded from the one thing that shapes real character: struggle.
Beckham has benefited from a huge amount of nepotism, which I know is an ugly word, but he would be nothing if not for his famous footballer dad and his posh Spice Girl mom. He wouldn't have his amateur cooking channel. He wouldn't have his modeling career. So I think a little bit more gratitude is due. There's been so many scandals of celebrity families where the parents are negligent, they're abusive to their children. That is not what's happening here. An overbearing, devouring mother, that's a common trope. Everyone has that experience, I think, with the mother-in-law.
Every setback was padded by privilege, every stumble caught by someone on the payroll. And that's the problem. When everyone around you depends on your brand, no one dares to tell you the truth. No one says, "Hey man, this actually isn't very good. Maybe you should practice more." So you end up chasing ambition without discipline, dreaming without grind, and eventually, deep down, you start feeling like a fraud. Harry's talked about it himself, the deep, gnawing imposter syndrome that comes from growing up inside palace walls. And honestly, you have to imagine Brooklyn feels that same sting. When the whole internet is roasting your art, but your inner circle keeps calling you a genius, that kind of mixed messaging will mess with your head. It's a dangerous kind of confusion because when your whole world feels fake, you start craving anything that feels real. So what do you do when the home you were born into starts feeling like a straitjacket? You run, you go west. It's practically a British cliche now. When a public figure spirals into an identity crisis, they look at the map, find Los Angeles, and whisper, "That's where I'll finally be free." For both Harry and Brooklyn, America wasn't just a new address, it was a rebrand, the land of reinvention, the land of speaking your truth and finally living on your own terms. For Harry, Montecito became the anti-palace. No protocols, no courtiers, no stiff royal expectations, just Oprah, Tyler Perry, and the freedom to finally say the quiet parts out loud. For Brooklyn, LA was his escape route, a chance to step out of David Beckham's towering shadow and be seen as more than a football legend's son. In America, he didn't need to be royal or iconic. He could just be famous. But here's the twist. America loves a rebel, sure, but America also runs on content, and you can't just live in Montecito or LA. You have to perform it. You've got to pay for the security, the staff, the lifestyle, all of it. And when your only marketable skill is being the child of famous parents, that ends up being the very thing you have to sell. That's where the whole story turns from dramatic to tragic. They ran away to escape their legacies, but to survive in America, they had to monetize them. Harry left the royal family to get away from media intrusion, yet the second he crossed the ocean, he signed Netflix and Spotify deals that required him to talk about the royal family. Meanwhile, Brooklyn tried to step out under their parents' massive spotlight, but every interview, every brand collab, every single cooking video circles back to the same tagline: "He's a Beckham." It's like trying to run from your shadow while the world keeps shining lights on you. They aren't chasing dreams anymore. They're stuck spinning on a golden hamster wheel. And those California advisors, the PR gurus, the brand managers, the image fixers, they're not guiding them towards freedom. They're helping them package their pain for the camera. Out west, trauma turns into content, therapy turns into a marketing plan, and living authentically means oversharing strategically. Sure, California gave them freedom from the institutions they raised them, but it handed them right over to the algorithm. And that brings us to now. If you're watching this later, maybe things have calmed down, but right now, it's chaos. The Instagram post Brooklyn dropped, then deleted, blew everything open wide. Screenshots hit Twitter in minutes, and that was the tipping point. We don't need to rehash every word, but the message rang loud and clear. I am not a brand extension.
When the wildfires broke out, he and his billionaire heiress wife reportedly crowdfunded $59,000 on GoFundMe to help rescue dogs. Couldn't you just pay for it yourself instead of sticking your hand out? He's driving around in a £1.2 million car.
Cool. Hey man, what do you do for a living? Your car's awesome. Oh, I thought I know you did. Yeah, Dana Mac, you seen it? What's up, bro? I'm a chef. You're a chef? Really? Are you like the best chef in the world? Trying to be.
I am a person. That line hit like a lightning bolt, the spark that set everything off. The internet's been buzzing ever since, and the rumors flying around right now, they're wild. Allegedly, the tension started over Brooklyn using the Beckham name in his new business ventures. Apparently, not everyone in the family approved. Then there's the never-ending friction between his wife's family, the Peltzes, and the Beckhams. Word is that wedding drama from years ago never really disappeared. It just went underground. And now, allegedly, a new ultimatum's been thrown down behind closed doors. Get in line with the family strategy or you're on your own financially. Sound familiar? It should. It's almost identical to what Harry faced during the Sandringham summit, that same cold choice. You're either in or you're out. Because at the end of the day, the institution, royal or commercial, always protects itself first. And what Brooklyn's doing now? It's echoing Harry's rebellion almost beat for beat. The cryptic posts hinting at toxic environments, the anonymous sources close to the couple whispering to People magazine about how hurt they are, the visual transformation, new clothes, new tone, new attitude as he pulls away from the family circle. Even the silence feels familiar. The Beckhams, just like the royals, are choosing their favorite weapon, quiet, polished control. Victoria is out here posting family photos that scream perfection, except now one person's missing from the frame. David's out here keeping calm, shaking hands, flashing smiles, pretending everything's fine while the family brand quietly burns behind him. That's textbook PR, what's called the gray rock strategy. Don't react, don't engage, don't feed the chaos. Just stand there, polished and steady, while the storm rages on. Let the kid burn himself out. That's the silent message. But here's where it gets interesting. Harry went to war with the British monarchy, an institution built over 1,000 years. Brooklyn, he's clashing with a lifestyle brand. The stakes couldn't be more different, but the emotional fallout looks eerily the same. That trapped feeling, that heartbreak, that desperate need to be seen as human, it's identical. And honestly, we've got to talk about us, the audience, because we're part of this cycle too. These stories keep playing out because we keep buying tickets to the same show. We say we want authenticity, but what we really crave is drama wrapped in vulnerability. When Harry first spoke out, the world cheered. Good for him, break the cycle. But then came the Oprah interview, the Netflix doc, Spare, the podcasts, the endless interviews, and that initial empathy started to fade. The mood shifted from support to fatigue, from tell your truth to, all right, we get it. And that's where the mirror turns back on us. Compassion always has a timer. First it's sympathy, then it's exhaustion, and before long it turns into straight-up mockery. That's exactly what happened with Harry. Remember when South Park aired that worldwide privacy tour episode? Overnight, his rebellion went from powerful to punchline. What started as a movement turned into a meme. Right now, Brooklyn's in that early good for him phase. The internet's cheering him on. Hashtags flying, people posting down with the toxic parents and let him cook, half ironically, of course. But give it 6 months because the internet always turns.
A lot of similarities drawn between Harry and Meghan's unceremonious departure from the crown and now the Brooklyn Beckham breakup. But in Meghan's case, she knew the serious demands of the royal family. That's a 1,100-year institution. She obviously knew what she was signing up for and did not uphold her end of the contract. Brooklyn, in his case, this is just painting the business brand, the Beckham family, and he's allowed to do.
The second he sits down for a paid tell-all interview or drops a memoir about how hard it was to grow up with David and Victoria, the tone will flip fast. Sympathy is fragile. It's a currency that expires the moment it looks profitable. People will forgive mistakes. They'll forgive being messy, but they never forgive when privilege dresses up as struggle. That's the danger zone Brooklyn's walking into right now. He's surrounded by polished American PR teams whispering, "Tell your story, be vulnerable, the world wants to hear it." But here's the cold truth: they don't. The world doesn't want healing, they want entertainment. And there's nothing more addictive to an audience than watching a golden boy fall from grace, especially when he's holding the match. But when the spotlight fades and the entertainment value runs out, the silence hits harder than any headline. Harry learned that lesson the rough way. The phone stops ringing, the invitations dry up, and those Hollywood besties start drifting toward the next big story. Once you're no longer the royal rebel, you're just the guy still talking about his dad. And nobody wants reruns. Brooklyn's on the edge of that same cliff, and he's about to find out how cold it gets when the cameras stop rolling. Strip away the fame, the followers, the millions, and what's left? Fathers and sons. King Charles and Harry Beckham, David Beckham and Brooklyn Beckham. Two pairs, two generations, living the same painful pattern. Both Charles and David built their worlds on work. They're old school, men who find meaning in the grind, in duty, in keeping their institutions alive. Charles protected the monarchy like a fortress, David built Brand Beckham into a global empire, and both sacrificed pieces of themselves to do it. Then they look at their sons, born in comfort, raised on opportunity, and something complicated brews inside them. Love, yes, but also frustration, maybe even resentment. I built this for you, they think. Why aren't you grateful?
Machine, will ensure the mainstream media always side with David and Victoria because David and Victoria sell for them. And this is where it all becomes very, very murky. I said the minute that Brooklyn started to move away from David and Victoria and spend more time with his fiance and then wife, this is not going to work out well because she is not going to fall in line with their well-oiled machine.
And the sons look right back and say, "You didn't build it for me, you built it for you. I'm just the prop that came with your success story." It's not new, it's not modern, it's ancient. The Greeks wrote tragedies about this very same fight, fathers clinging to legacy, sons clawing for freedom, and every generation seems doomed to replay it. Most family fights happen behind closed doors, around kitchen tables, in therapy offices, maybe through tense phone calls. They don't usually play out on Instagram stories or get packaged into glossy Netflix documentaries. That's the real tragedy of modern fame. We've sold celebrities the lie that publicity equals therapy, that if they just post the right quote, drop the right interview, or win the comment section, they'll somehow heal that emptiness inside. But here's the harsh truth. It doesn't work like that. You can't crowdsource healing. You can't fix generational wounds with engagement metrics.
David seems happy, lovely guy, he's jovial, he's talking to his other kids. Victoria, she is locked in. She is posh, smizing, I would say. She is in no way welcoming in her son, her daughter-in-law, Brooklyn here, trying to include his wife. He's bringing her in. She looks pissed. And she also looks like she is on the verge of tears.
So where does all this lead? If the Harry blueprint tells us anything, it doesn't end pretty. It ends with distance, with Brooklyn and his wife tucked away in California, surrounded by assistants and cameras, but completely isolated from family. It ends with the Beckhams circling the wagons, protecting the brand at all costs, cutting off the rogue element to keep the empire spotless. That's how dynasties survive, by pruning what doesn't fit the image. But every empire that begins in pride eventually cracks under pressure, and every dynasty, no matter how polished, eventually births one child brave or reckless enough to try and burn it all down. Maybe Brooklyn will break that pattern. Maybe this time someone decides to stop performing and just talk. Maybe David and Victoria put away the contracts, get on a plane, drive to their son's house, and have a real conversation. No cameras, no lawyers, no brand strategy, just family trying to remember what love sounded like before it became content. But honestly, I wouldn't bet on it, because in this world, the glittering world of monarchies and marketing, reconciliation doesn't pay the bills, drama does. The systems that raised men like Harry and Brooklyn were never designed to nurture humans. They were built to manufacture icons, perfect, polished, profitable icons. And when someone inside that system dares to act human, to show real emotion, real struggle, the machine treats it like a virus. It doesn't heal it, it isolates it. It tries to crush it, rewrite it, erase it. Brooklyn Beckham isn't just clashing with his parents, he's colliding with the very machinery of modern fame. And just like Harry before him, he's learning the brutal truth. The machine doesn't bleed, it just reboots. If you want to dig deeper into how we got here, the full chain of events that led to that deleted post, the business deals that quietly went south, and the wedding drama that never really ended, go check out our previous breakdown. We unpack all the receipts, connect the dots, and show you the story behind the story. Because here, we don't just read the headlines, we read between them. The truth is usually hiding in what's not being said. I'll catch you in the next one. And hey, don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment below. Tell me what you think really pushed Brooklyn to post that message.